So the Republicans seem to think that if they use the law nefariously to deprive people of their rights, somehow that's going to help them win future elections. Somehow that's a winning formula. Let's talk about why it's not. Because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So let's talk about the Republican Party's losing strategy, their determination to use the law nefariously to essentially wage war on the rights of the American people, the rights of the American voters. And let me use a football analogy. I apologize, my pop was a high school football coach, so sometimes I lapse into football analogies, but think of the Republican Party as a football team. A football team that has only an offense. They put an offensive unit on the field to run plays, but they have no defensive unit. And frankly, every play they run as an offensive unit, they get a penalty flag thrown because they're always violating the rules. That is a formula for a losing team. So speaking of losing teams, let's go back to the Republican Party. They seem to think that if they use the law nefariously to hold down, to control, to silence, to demean those segments of the American public that they deem undesirable, maybe they can win elections in the future. Who does the Republican Party deem as undesirable? Well, people of color, members of the LGBTQ community. Let's not forget women because, they're trying to deprive women, not only in Texas, but nationwide, of their constitutionally protected privacy rights. So the Republican Party seems to think that if they can just deprive enough people of their rights, by passing voter suppression laws, if they can deprive people of the full value of their vote by gerrymandering districts, if they can deprive people of elections that they actually won by, requesting endless and baseless recounts and audits and fraudits, and did I mention if they can just deprive and demoralize women of their constitutionally protected privacy rights? They seem to think if they can deprive enough people of enough rights, then maybe, just maybe, they can begin winning some elections again. And friends, maybe the Republicans think that's a winning formula, but they couldn't be more wrong. Not only is it a losing formula in the near term, it ultimately may prove to be a formula that brings an end to the Republican Party altogether. And the Republicans are doing things at this moment, and I don't even think they realize how foolish it makes them look. Let me just use one example. At the moment, the Republicans are trying to shut down the government. They don't want to fund the government. They don't want to raise the debt ceiling. They just want to shut it down, defund it. But aren't the Republicans the ones who are always complaining about the largely non-existent defund the police movement? Well, there are about 700,000 federal police officers, and the Republicans are about to defund them. As I say, not a winning formula. And if the Republican Party keeps it up, it may very well go the way of the dinosaurs. And frankly, that might not be a bad thing. Because after all, justice matters. Friends, as always, thank you for tuning into these daily videos. If you want to get them in podcast form, audio only, just go wherever you get your podcasts. And as always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. and I look forward to talking with y'all again tomorrow.